Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Numbers, the 31st chapter. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. So basically, go in and lead the children of Israel to take revenge against the Midianites for what they did in causing them to go astray and to go off. And once that's done, then you'll come up here to the spirit world. And Moses, meaning you're gonna die. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites and avenge the Lord of Midian. So bring some men for the battle, and let them go in war against Midian to take revenge on Midian on behalf of the Lord. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. So each tribe would bring 1,000 men. So they were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, that is, the warriors, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, and 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest to the war, with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And remember what the Lord said concerning the trumpets: when you go to war and you sound it, he's going to remember, and he's going to come and deliver us. And they warred against the Midianites as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. And they slew the kings of Midian, beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hor, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. See, so this dumbass went to dwell in Midian and counseled them on how to get Israel to go off. So guess what? When we went and took revenge on him, slew his ass too. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil, and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. Men meaning like humans, because it says here they killed all the men, so it's not like actual men. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the captain, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. So they went to go see what's up, what's over there. What did you bring? And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands. So he was angry. That's what that word wroth means. And captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? So you say you brought all the women back? Behold, these caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation. So that's what he's saying here, right? Balaam counseled them to use their women to come and seduce Israelite men to cause them to go and serve their idols, their gods. And you going to save all these women alive? Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every... Oh, so there you go, right? I think I mentioned earlier they had killed them. I spoke before. I jumped the gun, you could say, right? But we see here at the end, as Moses instructs them. So they killed all the men, but these are like the boys. It says, Therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. So every woman that's not a virgin, kill him. And all the little boys and all of them, kill them. Can you imagine what that sight looked like? But all the women children, which have not known a man by lying with them, so the virgins, right, the young girls, the virgins, keep alive for yourselves, Now, what do you think that means? And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever hath touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And we went through a couple chapters ago what the law on purification was, right? That's why he said, if you've touched any dead body, you've slain anybody, purify you and your captives. You would use the ashes of the red heifer mixed with the water, and then you would sprinkle it, right? It would be sprinkled upon you on the 3rd day and the 7th day. And purify all your raiment and all that is made of skins, that is of animal skin, and all works of goat's hair and all things made of wood. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war, which went to the battle, this is the ordinance of the law which the Lord commanded Moses. So this is what the Lord commanded Moses, this is how you would do it. This is what you got to do. Only the gold and the silver, the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, ye shall make it go through the fire. So all the spoils you got that are purified or refined through fire, meaning they won't be destroyed, you're gonna put it through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water of separation. So you're gonna purify it, but it also still has to be the water of separation, the cleansing water, has to be sprinkled on it as well for it to be clean. And all that abideth not the fire, ye shall make go through the water. So anything that is not going to survive the fire, like the gold and the silver, that you don't put through the fire at all. You just sprinkle the water on it. And ye shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and ye shall be clean, and afterward ye shall come into the camp. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the sum of the prey that was taken, both of man and beast, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation. So go and get an account of what the spoils were, right? Captives, the animals, all of those. Get a head count of it. And divide the prey into 2 parts, between them that took the war upon them who went out to the battle, and between all the congregation. So of all the spoil, divide it into 2 halves. A portion goes to those that actually went to the battle, and then another portion goes to the rest of the congregation of Israel. And levy a tribute unto the Lord of the men of war which went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the persons, of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the sheep. So a levy is like a collection, right? So of the tribute or of the spoils that belong to the men that went to war, a portion of that will be given to the Lord. And that portion is for every 500 souls, every 500 captives, you would take 1 for the Lord. And same thing for the cattle. That's what it means by beeves. And for the donkeys and for the sheep. Of every 500 of them, 1 would be given to the Lord. Take it of their half, which is the half that was given to the men of war, and give it unto Eleazar the priest for an heave offering of the Lord. So they would be his possession as a heave offering to the Lord, as a thing offered to the Lord, but it would be given to the priest. And of the children of Israel's half, thou shalt take 1 portion of 50 of the persons, of the beeves, of the asses, and of the flocks, of all manner of beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. So for the portion that goes to the congregation, instead of one out of every 500, it would be 1 out of every 50 that you would take of the captives, the cattle, the asses, the flocks, all of them, and you would give that to the Levites, the rest of the Levites. And Moses and Eleazar did as the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses. And the booty, which is spoil, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep, and that is 675,000 sheep, and 612,000 beeves, right? That's 72,000 cattle, and 601,000 asses. That's 61,000 asses, and 32,000 persons in all, 32,000 captives of women that had not known man by laying with them. So they had 32,000 virgins. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war was in number 3,000, 300,000 and 30,500 sheep. So when you divide the sheep in half, 337,500 belonged to the men of war, and the Lord's tribute of the sheep was 615. So that is 675. And the beeves or the cattle were 36,000, which the Lord's tribute was 312. That's 72. Because the score is 60 plus 12. And the asses were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 301. And the persons were 16,000, right? Of which the Lord's tribute was 32 persons, because they got half, right? The share of the total captives. And then the Lord got one of every 500 of them. And Moses gave the tribute which was the Lord's heave offering unto Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. So he got all those portions that would be given to the Lord. And of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided from the men that warred. Now the half that pertained unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 7,500 sheep, and 36,000 beeves, and 30,000 asses, and 500, and 16,000 persons. Even of the children of Israel's half, Moses took one portion of 50, both of man and of beast, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the officers which were over thousands of the host, the captains of thousands and captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses. So after everything was divided, they gave the Lord his portion. The heads of those that went to the war came to Moses, and they said unto Moses, Thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our charge, and there lack not one man of us. So they did a head count of all their soldiers, and everybody was alive. We have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten, of jewels, of gold, chains, and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. So they said we brought an oblation, something on our behalf to give to the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all wrought jewels, right? So all the jewels, golds, all of that. And all the gold of the offering that they offered up to the Lord, of the captains of thousands and of the captains of hundreds, was 16,750 shekels. That was a lot of gold. For the men of war had taken spoil every man for himself. So everybody got their own portion, and they all offered up something to the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation, for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord. And that brings us to the end of the book of Numbers, the 31st chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rechak Wadash. And until next time, Shalom.